Hey traders, welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for another daily market recap. Today is Wednesday, November 18th, and I hope everyone had a great trading day today. Before we jump into today's video, we're going to discuss the daily bull flag being negated on SPY and daily consolidation still underway for the overall broader market. So before we jump into that, make sure to smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and tick the bell to be notified each day when I go live. So taking a look at the first section here, so we'll just cover a couple of news articles. So we saw that the market sold off into the end of the day. It gained some steam toward the latter part of the day. So within about 15 minutes, we saw a pretty nasty drop and sell-off. And there wasn't really anything that I could see that was really driving it down in terms of news, but it could potentially be a sell the news as well with the Moderna and the Pfizer news. So a lot of people are thinking that now that we have the cure, that the economy is just going to go right back to the way it was. It's still going to, we still get to roll it out to 7 billion people across the globe. And then what are we going to do about the people who are anti-vaccines, right? So you're going to have that group of people. So how's that going to affect the workplace? How's that going to affect schooling systems? How is it going to affect travel and the tourism industry if people aren't allowed to get on a plane or travel if they don't have proof that they have that shot, right? So that's going to be, in my opinion, a very interesting topic, and we're going to see economic impacts from this, especially with a lack of stimulus being passed right now. Businesses are hurting, and there's small businesses are failing, you know, they're dropping like flies. So I think the long-term implications of this could be potentially a catalyst to sell off as a perfect sell the news opportunity. But I've been calling this for a while now. What's going to happen when they start to pump out the vaccine as a potential market moving catalyst? And that's exactly what we got. We also saw that Tesla got a boost today from Morgan Stanley after they turned bullish on the stock. So essentially, they've been categorized as a Tesla cheerleader, and they haven't recommended to buy Tesla stocks since 2017. But now they're changing their tune after the S&P 500 decided to include Tesla in the indice, and Morgan Stanley is now rating Tesla a buy again, or more accurately, an overweight rating with a new price target of $540 per share, which would put us above the all-time high of just over $500 post-split. So that's pretty much all I had in terms of news. Make sure to keep an eye out for any developments on the election. So we could see a contested election drag on for a while. So just keep an eye out for any headlines that may move the market there as well. We did see that Georgia said that they saw no evidence of fraud in their voting system. So certainly looking like Biden has a more comfortable lead with every passing hour and day. So taking a look at some charting. So we'll jump into a few different, we'll look at the broader indices first and foremost, but you can see here that we had a nasty drop off into the end of the day, and from QQQ had a nastier drop off. It was very close to the high of the day, within about 34 pennies. So we were 34 cents away from the high of the day, and then from there, just a nasty over 1% drop in 50 minutes, 45 minutes. So last hour definitely wasn't power hour. It was power hour to the downside, but you can see we even had a 5-minute uptrend and just completely broke through those supports into the end of the day. But top fishing QQQ has been very rewarding the last little while. And if you just, yesterday, if you shorted the high of the day, you would have won 3 times. And today you could have shorted the new high of the day. You would have been rewarded heavily. And again, getting close to that high of the day, and we pulled back significantly. So lots of sell pressure still in the technology sector. But taking a look at SPY here again, I haven't really been doing a whole lot of trading. The market's very, very unpredictable right now. We're in blue sky breakouts. I don't really feel comfortable going long on most names. I have my long portfolio with my MJ stocks, so I have a mix of Canadian and US MJ, but mostly trim now after the earnings and the huge run-ups that we saw. Just looking to re-enter on some higher lows, but essentially just looking to reload cheaper and remain protective of profits, because we know that a drop can come. The market's going to crash again at some point, and we know that this is inevitable, but it's just making sure that you don't get complacent and lock in those profits. I'm just in conservation mode right now, trying to be as protective as I can, and currently buying a house at the moment. So life's busy, just a bunch of life stuff. So buying a new home, I've got a couple of investment properties as well, and looking to buy a potential, another potential income property. So focusing on the house, and then, like I said, just taking some of that capital and moving that capital around from stocks and equities into some real estate, especially in certain areas where real estate is undervalued, and looking for, like I said, just a long-term income play. So if you are profitable right now and you are seeing huge gains from the March lows, you know, not saying to buy or sell, this isn't financial advice, but now might not be a bad time to start looking the other way and start trimming and locking in those gains. So SPY on the daily, like I said, daily consolidation very much underway still, with a very bearish reversal candle today. We still have EMA 12 and EMA 26 on the daily to flirt with, but we do have a daily higher low at 351.26 as well. Previous daily higher low before that was 350.51, so 350 psychological. And then really below that, we don't have anything until 322. So this is going to get interesting. We can see that we negated the daily bull flag that I mentioned yesterday in yesterday's video. So if we broke the low of yesterday, I said the chances of the daily bull flag are diminishing and we should look the other way. And that's exactly what we got, with some follow through and more daily consolidation. So we'll look to the hourly chart as our guide going into tomorrow. We'll see if this hourly downtrend remains tomorrow. If it does, we'll just be scouting a daily higher low compared to 351.26. And if we get an hourly trend change back to the bulls and confirm an uptrend, then we can be confident that the daily higher low is set. And then we'll look up to daily resistance at 362.78. So that's where we stand on SPY. QQQ, very much the same, but kind of the opposite. So yesterday we hadn't started daily consolidation yet. We started with an inside bar, and actually we had a close 293.20, 293.40. So we opened just above. So we had a little bit of fake out there on that bull break of the high of November 16th. And then we pulled back and we started daily consolidation. So a little bit of a laggard in terms of QQQ versus SPY. So you can see that we already had this pattern playing out yesterday in the S&P, which gave us another clue to potentially look out for daily consolidation on QQQ. But at this point, we could still be in daily bull flag territory on QQQ. Let's just take a look. So yeah, we could basically drop to the 288.70 level and still maintain a possibility of a daily bull flag. So if we lose that level, we also have EMA 12 right there as well. So that could potentially act as a support zone. So could still be a potential bull flag on the technology sector, but just looking for a daily higher low compared to 280.62. And again, going into tomorrow, we're in a hourly downtrend, so we're going to be looking at the hourly chart as our guide. Once we change the hourly trend back to an uptrend, then we can be confident that the daily higher low is set, and then look back toward daily resistance, which would be up at, it's actually the high of today, so 293.74 and then 299.14. And then after that, we have the all-time high at 303.60. So that's where we stand on QQQ. Taking a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has been exploding lately, and we hit a high of 18,483. So we'll round it up to about 18,500. And we instantly crashed about almost 10%, dropped down to about little over 17,000. And just looking to end the day out here, potentially forming a doji here. So it's going to be interesting. We've got about 2 hours and 43 minutes left. So We'll see if this could be the start of daily consolidation. We did get outside of the daily Bollinger Bands as well. So we are outside of the weekly Bollinger Bands. We're weekly overbought, daily overbought, monthly overbought, and we're outside of the Bollinger Bands on the monthly as well. You can see what happened last time Bitcoin did that, but we are certainly in parabolic territory and very close to blue sky breakout. So I wouldn't necessarily be shorting this if I were a bear, because we know that Bitcoin is just in a world of its own right now. But congrats to the bears today that took a short at 18,500 range, or maybe 18,000s. You were rewarded heavily there, like I said, with a 8% drop, 7.5% drop in no time at all, just under an hour. That's where we stand on Bitcoin. So if we do start daily consolidation, we'll look to the 4-hour chart. So once we lose the 4-hour uptrend, so if we lose 17,000, then we're going to scout a daily higher low. And if we break the low of tomorrow, on tomorrow's candle, then again, we'll just be looking for a daily higher low. And that will be a higher low compared to 15,715, which is the last support level. We also have EMA 12 there acting as support as well. So let's just cruise through a couple of other charts here. Just gonna bring it over here, actually, over to the Brave browser. So like I said, SPY sold off into the end of the day, still selling off here after hours as well. Not really, only down about 0.05%. So not a huge difference there. QQQ, basically about the same. So we'll see. It's going to be an interesting day tomorrow. We saw the dollar pop there into the end of the day as well. Not surprising. Still trading inversely to most of our assets. So one thing to be watching for as well today was that Bitcoin was trending down. We saw gold trending down. Basically all sectors going in the same direction. We saw basically just a lot of money leaving risk assets and going into the dollar and into other currencies. We also saw the pound, Brexit nearing a deal. So the pound has been rising as well. So it could also be money leaving there as well. But like I said, we had everything trending down together, and that's why we saw everything flush to the magnitude that it did. DXY pumping, Dow was fading into the end of the day as well. IWM, so Russell 2000, again, selling off into the end of the day. Semiconductors selling off into the end of the day. Oil sold off into the end of into the close. TAN, solar ETF, again, selling off into the end of the day. Silver, gold, biotech sector, home builder ETF, energy, which has been leading the pack lately, XLF, XLRE, even the real estate trust and home builders ETF. So this could get interesting tomorrow. And if we continue to see all sectors trending in this same direction at the same time, and just taking a look at healthcare. So obviously we have the news of the Moderna and the Pfizer news, but yet healthcare is down. So that's very notable as well. We did break to a new lower low. So we did have a huge daily move. We formed a mini higher low here at 109.21, and we closed below that. So that's very bearish at this point. And you can see we had a higher low, lower high, and lower low, daily downtrend right now on the healthcare sector. So it looks like weekly consolidation is underway. We did break the low of last week, which was 109.98. But essentially just going to be looking for a weekly higher low compared to 131. It's also a nice round psychological number of 100. So if we don't hold EMA 12 or 26, then we can look to potentially see a bounce off 100, but wouldn't expect us to get there tomorrow unless things get really extreme, but certainly would expect some news behind that as well. Looking at the daily chart for XLRE, so same thing, daily consolidation still underway. We'll be looking to the hourly chart as our guide on most of these names. Once we can confirm an hourly uptrend, then we'll be confident that the daily higher lows are set. And just looking at the XLF on the hourly, could be a potential inverse head and shoulders, but held up relatively well compared to its peers. And we do have a daily higher low support here at 27.13, so most important short-term support. Then after that, we have nothing until 26.35. XLE, so very bearish candle today and closed at the low of the day. And we don't have a daily higher low from all the way down at 32.34. So bulls just looking for a daily higher low. We also have a gap in the chart to fill here at the $34 range. And again, we'll look at the hourly chart as our guide. Once we confirm an hourly uptrend, we'll be confident that the daily higher low is set. XHB still hasn't started daily consolidation, so that's notable, but closed the day with an upper wick and at the low of the day. XBI upper wick closed near the low of the day, and we have a daily higher low support at 123.48. After that, nothing until 118.86. We also have EMA 12 right there as well. Gold on the daily, so we are again pulling back on that time frame on the weekly chart. You can see we're back within this descending triangle, and we're getting very, very tight. So if we don't break this week, I would expect a break in the next week or two after that. But it's going to be very telling for the sentiment in the market, because gold has been leading the way and has been acting as a safe haven ever since the March lows. And now we were seeing crypto and Bitcoin blast off and doing its own thing, basically following S&P, but outperforming the S&P by a long shot on the year. And gold was been just consolidating while Bitcoin's been blasting off to test potential all-time highs, and same with SPY. So we see some divergence there from metals to the overall market and the crypto market. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out over the next couple of days and into the end of the week. So that's pretty much all I had for you guys. Oil, let's take a look at oil on the daily. So again, we have a higher low at 40.12 and resistance up at 43.04, essentially just going sideways right now. And we didn't confirm an hourly downtrend yet. So most important support is going to be 41.58. If we lose 41.58 going into tomorrow, then that will confirm an hourly downtrend. But we'll also be looking at the 4-hour chart as well. If we lose the 4-hour uptrend, then we can be confident that the daily lower high is set and start to scout for a higher low compared to 40.12. That's pretty much all I had in terms of the broader indices. And I did want to bring up the Microsoft chart and Amazon chart. So Amazon had news about their pharmacy opening, but we saw Microsoft selling off today. Taking a look at the weekly chart, so it could still potentially be a weekly head and shoulders. Not the most clear head and shoulders. It's a lot more clear on the Amazon chart, but the idea is there. We could potentially see that play out, but taking a look at Amazon's weekly, much more clear here. For the weekly head and shoulders, that could line up well with the gold weekly descending triangle. I know I've been mentioning that a lot lately, but I'm still something that I'm keeping an eye out for. Again, we had Tesla upgraded today, so we'll take a quick peek at Tesla. Up on the week, huge gains. Congrats to the bulls. Up on the week, about 20%, over 20%. So congrats to the bulls there. So obviously got upgraded to the S&P 500. Morgan Stanley upgraded it as well. Saw a daily bull cross at the EMA and 26 exponential moving averages, and seeing a upper wick there into the end of the day. And again, wasn't spared with the market sell-off into the end of the day, but definitely held up well compared to the tech sector and other broader markets. But we haven't even formed an hourly high or low yet. So all day we just broke to we didn't break the low of the previous candle all day long. So we have a higher low every candle for 7 candles in a row. So as soon as we break the low of the previous candle, if that happens, overnight tonight or into pre-market or at the beginning of trading day tomorrow, then we'll look for an hourly high or low compared to 443. So just be cautious that if you are looking to enter long, we have all-time high resistance rate at 500, and we could easily pull back about 10% on the hourly and still be in an hourly uptrend. But maybe you want to top fish resistance at 500. See, we have an all-time high at 502.49, so we're right there. We do see that the monthly RSI is starting to trend down as well. And we're back outside of the monthly Bollinger Band. So bubble is back in full effect. Just want to take a quick peek at NEO. So NEO getting, pulling back after we saw that short report, and we also saw the earnings reaction wasn't the greatest. We are holding EMA 12, so EMA 12 on the daily is going to be crucial for the NEO chart. But essentially just looking for a daily high or low compared to 40.50 and 40 psychological, so we can expect a bounce there more than likely. But again, just looking to change the hourly trend. If we can confirm an hourly uptrend, then we can be confident that the daily high or low is set. So again, I think that's pretty much it for today. So we saw more states restricting, more lockdowns. Just keep an eye out for more of the same. I know in Canada, we're seeing more provinces do the same, where they are doing curfews and smaller gatherings. I know funerals, they were doing about 100 people per gathering. Now it's down to 40, I think. So it could potentially be a sell the news on the Moderna and the Pfizer. And now we could be entering in a long road to recovery. That's what I could see happening. And we have a lot of people that just social unrest, and a ton of people that would not be open to taking the shot, either because they don't think it's safe or that it was rushed, or they just don't even believe in shots in general. There's some people that I know that refuse to even take just the regular flu shot that's been around for ages. So what do you expect for a new shot that's come out for a new vaccine that hasn't really been tested, that's only saying that they only say is 95% effective, and it really hasn't stood the test of time. So obviously these companies are getting paid big money to race to a cure. And I don't know about you, but I personally wouldn't be open to trying it right away or taking one right away either. So keep an eye out for any election updates and contested election updates. We could see more narrative around that as well. But other than that, that's pretty much all I had for you guys today. Thanks again for joining us for another daily market recap on the pursuit of wealth. And tune in for another episode tomorrow. Hope you have a great night and hope you had a great trading day. And we'll talk to you tomorrow for another daily market recap. Take care, everyone.